Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks so much for joining me over on the Joy Claire YouTube channel today. Today I am going to be working with mainly this Floral Friendship digital stamp set, which was part of the August release. And I am going to show you really quickly how I modified some of the digital stamps to create different stamps. And so I'm going to go ahead and go into paint.net. And this is a free photo editing tool, or just editing tool basically. It's super easy to use. So I've gone ahead and I have opened the PNG file from the download from Joy Claire Design. And before I go on to editing the images, I wanted to give a quick overview of the toolbox in paint.net just so you can see what I will be using. The first several tools are selection tools, which is basically you click on that and then you click on the image and surround it, and that will highlight your image. You can then copy it and move that to your word processing document. The magic wand is what will make a PNG file transparent. So if you don't already have a transparent background, if you click on that magic wand and then click on your document, it will select everything. If you hit delete, it will take away the background. So the reason you want the background to be transparent is basically what it means for an image is that the background is removed. If you don't remove the background and it is not transparent, you will have that white background. So when you're trying to move images around, especially when you're modifying images or trying to group images together, you will have like white squares where you'll be able to see that background. So transparency will allow you to layer images one on top of each other and not see that white background. And then the other tool I will be using today is the eraser tool, and that is just going to do what it says. It will erase the areas that I do not want. So back to my file, this is again the Floral Friendship. I have gone ahead and I have selected the eraser and I have removed the portion of the flower that I don't want. So when I choose my selector tool, it is much easier, especially when images are grouped like this, to remove areas that are close to it so that you just get the area you want. So I'm going to go ahead and I have erased the areas I don't want, selected the leaf portion, and I've gone up to edit and then copy, and then I'm going into my word processing document and I will click on that and then paste and then resize my image just by dragging it. You can do this in any word processing document. Mine is probably a little bit different unless you have what I'm using, which is LibreOffice, and this is a free program. So if you have Word, you can use that. But if you don't have a program and you want one, the LibreOffice suite is a great free program where you get a Word document, you get spreadsheets. It's kind of like the Word Office suite, or the Microsoft Office suite. So I've gone ahead and I have moved the image, and basically all I've done is I wanted the image to be behind the florals, and so I selected to move the leaves back. And so next I'm going to go ahead and take some other leaves from the other floral set. So again, I am erasing the area that I don't want, and then I will take my selector tool and highlight that and go up to edit and copy, and then I'll go back over to my word processing document, paste that, and again resize that so it's a little bit smaller, and then move that to my floral area, and I will again choose to move that to the background. And so once I have all of my layouts set, I go ahead and print them out on colored paper. I wanted to mention also that when I do these layouts, I do make a text box that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just so I know that I am within the parameters of the card size that I want to use. And so I've printed those out, and I have cut out several in 2 card panels. And I'm going to go ahead and take the green paper first, and I wanted to do with this kind of like a white embossed image, and so I'm using foiling. This is white reactive foil, and I used my mini mink to go ahead and run that through, and there's a lot of areas that did not take, so I just went ahead and took a lot of little spaces and ran it back through my machine again and ended up with a few left over, but I will take care of that later. And I did have to use my laser printer in order to use the reactive foil, but I used my laser printer most of the time with digital images because I like to use water a lot, and a laser printer will allow me to do that. And so I've gone ahead and I've taken a white colored pencil and just very lightly colored in the floral portion of the image, added some sequins, and popped up that sentiment that says wishing you brighter days. And that will complete the first card. I did also use a Pinkbrush Studio die to make that stitching around the edges. For the next card, I went ahead and foiled again. This was with gunmetal foil, so I foiled the entire panel, and then I took a stitch die in 2 sizes and went ahead and layered those. So I'm taking my green piece and I'm layering that on top of a craft piece of cardstock. And then I will take my panel and adhere that to my card base. And then I will take the smaller portion and use some leftover foam areas to pop that up on my card. And then I add some liquid pearls to this, and that will finish off that card. So another super quick and easy. If you do your layouts in your word processing document, it is just a matter of printing out and cutting, or using a die to cut and then coloring it how you want. It is so fast and easy, and you get beautiful results. And so for this last card, I'm going to use the floral piece again. And again, I'm using a white colored pencil. This paper is a little bit of a textured paper, so when the pencil goes across it, it leaves a really cool texture. So I'm just gonna go ahead and color the flowers on this image as well. Nothing fancy or shading or anything like that, just a couple of times over the images with my white colored pencil. And that pretty much finishes that off. I was going to use a different sentiment for this, but didn't like the blue on blue, so I went ahead and used Sharing in Your Sorrow and popped that up onto my card, and that will finish off that card and the series of 3. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it or find it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. As always, description links will be in the description below. And thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time.